What's up? How you guys doing? How you feeling? Welcome back. My name is DubDigital. I like to talk about crypto a lot, maybe too much. I do this twice a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time ish, give or take. What's up, guys? Three people. Those of you who are unfamiliar with the channel, if I got any new people, maybe I do, maybe I don't. This is conversational. We chalk it up. It's a crypto hangout. You pop things in the comments. I respond to it. We have an overarching topic, but it kind of goes where it goes. This is a community effort. But I got to say what's up to the people up front. Stop by, say hi. Why not? I know I got two lurkers over here. Who it is? Gotta know. Crypto's been looking good. It's been looking better than usual. It's been looking like a bag of milk for the last 2 years. So I'm glad we got a little a little relief. Man, crypto has been a downer for the last couple years, if you've been around. Now we're going to get a new, I guess you would say, cohort of hodlers now, because I think it's damn near approaching all-time highs now. It's not there yet. Last time I checked, Bitcoin was around 30. We're not there anymore. 52,000. All-time high, it depends what chart you're looking at, sits around 64,000. So we're really, really close. The closer it gets to the all-time high, the more the media starts picking it up. The more the media starts picking it up, new people come into the space, and the space grows in aggregate. Not a bad thing. It's definitely a good thing. But then things get a lot more confusing. Trust. If any of you guys have been in the euphoria phase before, it gets a lot more confusing emotionally. That's why we have spaces like this, safe crypto OG spaces like this, where we can slap each other and keep each other accountable. Because how well you do in the cycle is exactly proportional to how well you do managing your emotions during the euphoria phase. Slagadula, Michluk, Biddy Dup. What the hell? What's up? You guys be making up words. I mean, I'm with it though. I'm with it. Yeah, man. We can start off looking at coin market cap. Sure, people will be filtering on in here as they realize that I'm live. But let's go ahead and check it out. Hold on. Before we do that though, I'm simultaneously streaming on X and YouTube because I'm stepping my game up. If you're on X, do me a solid. Come on. Follow me on YouTube. What's the worst that could happen? There I am. I'll drop my link because I'm that kind of guy. I like to share. I don't ask for your money, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate a follow. Cool. And then also, if you happen to be following me on YouTube, do me a favor, follow me on X. You know how it goes on these platforms, man. Sometimes they drop you off for no reason. And this way, we could stay in touch. The more the merrier. But yeah. From Cinderella. Hey, you got a diamond shoe? I'm with that. Send it on over. I'll send you my P.O. box. Give it here. Digital diamond to physical diamond. I'm with it, man. Let's check it out. Go to coin market cap. And I'll show my screen. Make it a little bigger. There we go. Bitcoin a little bit down from 52,000. It was above. It was like 52.8K yesterday or something earlier today. I don't even know. It's been moving around a lot, and that's typically a symptom we see before a big direction either side on Bitcoin. Bitcoin just doesn't go from boring to exciting real quick. There's a uptick in volatility in Bitcoin. We're starting to see that now, right? It's getting more, it's coming closer and closer together. Before we would get, dramatic ups and downs at certain points of the cycle towards the bull market, maybe in the awareness phase, but now we're getting further into the cycle and that thing's starting to go like this. That's what we have to see. Just know that things go up and down. Sometimes they go down before they go up. That might happen here. Historically speaking, that's what happens to Bitcoin. It goes down before it goes up, you know, especially when we start hitting around areas of previous resistance, which is exactly where we're at. In fact, I'm pretty surprised that Bitcoin's showing this amount of strength through this area, this double top area that we experienced in 2020 to 2021. I think it was 2021 without looking exactly the dates on the chart. So what I'm trying to say to you is it's going up pretty hard, but it's obviously meeting some sell pressure, hitting around 52, 51, 50K. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna get out of here, break new all-time highs without having to give some back. Now that's not a bad thing though, right? That's not a bad thing at all. In fact, it makes it more sustainable if it stays back, comes back. I don't think it will stay there, but we will have to see. We've had a pretty big run up to this point, and we can look at TradingView, Bitcoin on TradingView. Like I've been saying, the RSI is kind of high for my liking. I think it's an overbought. I think it's going to give some back at some point. But hey, I'm not telling you to jump out of your Bitcoin to try to get back and buy back later on the correction and get 10%. You can do that with some, but these things move so volatile, it's crazy. It's not even worth guessing. That's the pro tip. Don't guess. Don't act like you're smarter than the market, because in the euphoria phase, when things get very volatile and extreme, nothing makes sense really. And sometimes Bitcoin goes up when it's supposed to go down because a bunch of people jump into the market and don't understand what's happening, right? They just say, take my money here. They start throwing their money around. It's like, why are you buying at this? They don't understand, right? And that's the unpredictability of new money coming into space. We all want it, but at that point, for a short period of time, all reason goes out the window. Don't get sucked up in it. Still hope for Bitcoin Diamond? I don't know. Me and Bitcoin Diamond got a hate-hate relationship. Let's check it out. I got wrecked in Bitcoin Diamond. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, man. I mean, look at Bitcoin Diamond. Look at Bitcoin Diamond. Look at that bag of milk. Yeah, I guess it could have an insane reversal from the bottom, but tell you what, I'm done trying to pick the bottom on Bitcoin Diamond. There's a lot of opportunities in the space. Maybe this just isn't for me. Not saying it's not for you, but just so you know, Bitcoin Diamond, it didn't do too much in 2021. It might do a lot in 2024. I'm not sure. That's kind of one where you kind of put some capital towards it. Do not bet the farm. If it doesn't play out, don't get mad. Chalk it up to a weekend in Vegas, right? And that's it, But if it does pay off, hey. And I'll tell you this, though. During real altcoin seasons, you'll see all these Bitcoin forks start to pop off hard, like go ham. That's how you know it's a real altcoin season, because new money floods in and they just see the word Bitcoin and they start throwing their money at things that say Bitcoin. We didn't see too much of that in 2021. That's why I'm saying 2021 was the most disappointing alt season we've seen. We've only really seen one, to be quite frank, and that's in 2017. But that's a good segue to hop on over to Bitcoin dominance. My bad. Can't do two things at once, man. Let me take indicator off here because it's too much. It's too much. It's confusing me. All right. Banger. So this is Bitcoin dominance on the 4-hour. I don't need to be in the 4-hour. But even on the 4-hour, it's starting to look like it's emming out. This is kind of all up in the weeds. Zoom out a little bit. But you could even see it on the daily somewhat. This thing, and we were talking about this way back here in October when no one was talking about this rising wedge. I still don't see a lot of people talking about a rising wedge. I'll even take the ball off because it doesn't really matter right now. Okay, so this thing's been if you're new or you haven't heard this, you probably have because I talk about this all the freaking time. But this has been a pattern, a multi-year pattern happening since October 2021, right? It's been coiling up, rising up in this reversal pattern. This is exhaustion, right? So it's coiling out, and then it started showing its hand and poking through the bottom of the structure. I said that at some point, because there's a second W shoulder forming, although it's a lower low, that means that it's probably going to have like some kind of reversal to the upside. And I said, even if it climbs back into the structure, it's already showed its hand. It's violated the structure twice. Okay. Now we're starting to see it climb into the structure, but already show weakness right after it's entering. This thing's coming down lower, right? The lower low on the W tells us so. The RSI pointing at the top, it's going to want to fall towards the bottom. And that's what we're going to see. And every single time it comes out of the structure, there's more and more likelihood that Bitcoin dominance falls. And how far can it fall? It can fall pretty far. Now, I'm not going to guess how far it can drop because that's like, a fool's errand. But what we can't count on is it at least falling about 27, 30%, right? That's when you first run into the first area of real resistance. Let's go on the weekly so you can see it a little better. Reason this is resistance is because we first tapped on this area in April of 2018, came close to it in May 2021, then again in November, September of 2021, then again on January 2022, then again on, you get the picture? This has obviously been a technical area of support for the Bitcoin dominance. But a little thing about charting, every single time you come back down to a point and touch it, there's more and more likelihood that you break through it. Okay, so we've done this touch 1, 2. I'll count this as a touch, okay? Getting close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. I mean, 7 times is a charm. So I'm expecting a drop from here all the way down to break through that. But below that resistance area or that support area is another area of support that we really haven't touched before. It's about 8% down from that initial bouncing point. And that was the lowest drop Bitcoin dominance has ever dropped during the 2017 to 18 altcoin season. And that is approximately at 35%, give or take. Okay, so the reason I'm saying we can at least drop this far is, hey, if we bounce up again, that's what it typically does in this line, but there's a good chance for it to break through. But if we go 8% more, there's a really good chance we're going to catch a bounce off of that area. Now, with that said, we can't really tell how far it will go or how it will drop because we don't know how this cycle will play out, right? Like, is this going to be started in 2024 and continue into 2025? Is it going to be a crazy blow off top that happens all in 2024? We don't know, right? It's going to make a lot of sense after it's all done, but isn't it the case for everything? Like once it's very like apparent, everyone comes out and says, of course, this is like, yeah, dog, like that's the easy part. We got to figure it out before it happens. That's the challenge in charting, so we'll see. But what we can do is once this thing falls down to at least this area, maybe transition some of take profits on your altcoins. Not all of them, whatever portion is good for you. That's where you have to sit down with your own finances, know your own needs, know your own bag, know what bags you have, which ones you're willing to hold on to, and which ones you're willing to sell because you just don't believe in it like that. You got to do that work yourself. But it would be probably smart to either one, sell altcoins into some stable coins. Because, when Bitcoin dominance rise up, that means that altcoins are dropping, or transition some altcoins into Bitcoin to at least secure your Bitcoin value. That's up to you. But just so you know, if you turn altcoins to Bitcoin, that's still a taxable event if you do taxes like that. I'm always going to, be a proponent of paying your fair share to Rome. But you know what I'm saying? And we'll see. But here's the one case where all of this kind of just drops down through the floor. It's not going to go straight. It's going to happen like something like this. And this area represents till the end of the year of 2024. But in the scenario that everything lines up, the halving lines up, the ETFs line up, those are two things that we know have happened, right? ETF and then the halving. And then in the weird circumstance that the US government starts lowering interest rates. And that's something a lot of crypto people do not talk about. They just talk about in terms of crypto and what's happening in crypto, but that's only a slice of the overall pie, right? Because crypto's valuations are completely dependent upon how much money people have to push into crypto, right? And that's why the bear market started in 2018. Did you guys notice, if you look at when the Fed announced they're going to raise interest rates and tighten the monetary supply, crypto started tanking, right? Started tanking right away. So if they start reversing that, crypto will start inflating, right? They have the Fed has two meetings, FOMC meetings coming up this year, one in March, right before the halving, and one in June, right after the halving. The Fed has also said that they're willing to start lowering interest rates because they want to give people the sense that they're in control of inflation. They want to give people the warm, fuzzy feeling that this isn't running away from them. It really is, but they want to give that perception. So the Fed's probably going to follow through with what it says and lower interest rates. We could probably look at the 10-year yield, but history shows that once they start lowering interest rates, there typically is some kind of financial crisis that occurs. And that might be the reason why Bitcoin dominance might catch a bounce up. That's what history suggests, you know? But what does the Fed typically do after there's some kind of financial crisis? What have they done every single financial crisis? In 2008, in the pandemic, what do? Turn on that money printer and go burr, burr, burr. And then that's when I'm expecting Bitcoin dominance to potentially drop to the floor. That's when I'm expecting the euphoria phase to really commence. I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo. Took off from part-time job to listen to your crypto wisdom because it pays more. Yeah. So when I was working in aerospace and defense, because that's what I used to do back in the day, I would definitely like listen to crypto nonstop. I was listening to Ivan on Sec in 2016 when he was just like at his desk in his room. And he was talking about the start of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. And I just knew that this was the future, right? And I read a couple books, right? I always take some of my paycheck and I would invest it in books, not fiction books, but like books that taught me things, history books, financial books, memoirs of like wealthy people to see how they think. And one of the most important things that I heard was from actually Robert Kiyosaki. People feel a certain way about him, but I think he gave a pretty solid piece of advice. And he said, work for skills, not money. Right? Because skills can never be taken away from you, and you can use skills to make money. But you can't really trade money for skills. Skills is something you require over time. So while you have time on your side and you're young or like the time that you have, you might not be young, but it doesn't really matter. Those skills pay off for you for life indefinitely. You know, so definitely take a portion of your time and dedicate it to education for yourself. Because like if someone came to you and took everything away from you, all your possessions, and dropped you on the street, a person with skills can make that money back. You know, it's the one thing that they can never take away. 11 people, what's good? Let's go back to Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin. Let's go back to a coin market cap, see what's popping. Overall green looks good. Let's filter it. 24. What's up? VeChain. I made a tweet on this, or X post. I don't know what to call it anymore, but VeChain is top gainer, 27% up on the 24-hour, and 7 days it's up 54%. Now that's what I'm freaking talking about. That's what start of bull run numbers and percentages look like. And the reason I bring it up being VeChain is because VeChain is an older project. We're not just seeing the newest and hottest and latest and greatest starting to catch some steam. We're starting to see what people call dino coins catching steam. And VeChain was a big coin, very highly anticipated in 2020 to 2021. Let's check out the chart. Yeah, they were one of the first projects to talk about, or at least mainstream projects to talk about using the blockchain to revolutionize supply chains. That's funny because that's actually like specifically the industry I was in, supply chain. And yeah, it makes the most sense, right? You don't have no idea how disorganized some of these large companies are. Like things go lost all the time. There's a huge amount of waste. Blockchain would help tighten up all the costs. It would be great. And that's what VeChain's planning to do. I know they had some pretty good partnerships. Um, I never really was a big like VeChain holder, but I think that's very interesting that depending on who they're working with, it could take traction for sure. It's up to about 4.5 cents. The bottom was about 1.7 cents. I think this thing's clear to go towards like 6 to 8 cents. So that's a double from here. It's not probably not going to go there straight away, but there doesn't look, just looking at this coin market cap chart, that there's a lot of resistance to go there. And we start seeing these things clearly climbing off the bottom, right? So we're going to another phase of the market, in my perspective. Starting to approach the awareness phase, or the whatever phase. We'll pull up the Wall Street cheat sheet in a second. But let's finish looking. BitGet token, what the hell? Arweave, Terra Classic. Now I talked about my thesis that Terra Luna could come back, right? Because people have been burning the supply of Luna. And we don't, it's not a guess. Just look at the chart. Not saying that it's a guaranteed thing. It's definitely a long shot. I'll be transparent about that, but we can't rule it out, right? Look at this W right down here. One bottom, two bottom, much higher and kind of inverted. That's telling me like once it breaks here, what, 0.04 cents? This thing, it'd be interesting to see what it does. And if this thing reclaims, it's going to be the biggest. Whoever bought this bottom, it's going to make a lot of money. So this is one of those where it's a long shot. And if you want to put some capital on it, I do not suggest it to be a lot. The reason being is, don't get greedy, but the reason being is this is a good example of asymmetric risk, right? Like you could put a little down, you probably will lose it. But in the event you don't lose it, you stand to make a whole bunch. See, and that's why that's what I like, right? When I first got into Bitcoin to me was one of those situations where I got put how much in? It's not that much, but I could stand to make a lot, right? And it actually paid off. A lot of times they don't, but for Bitcoin's case, it did. And once that happened, it opened my mind to like, whoa, like I could just like bet against people, and in the event that I'm right, I make a lot of money. Yeah, that's what investing is. The ability to invest is your ability to see through everyone's prejudices and see the opportunity for what it is. A lot of the times people won't agree with you. A lot of the times they'll tell you you're stupid. A lot of the times it's going to be down for a long time until it's not. Terra Classic, I know that Binance is still burning it. Pretty much the whole community is dedicated to making dApps and stuff to still burn it. And if UST also repegs, that's going to be a lot of money coming back in the ecosystem, specifically in Cosmos. But until it happens, we call it a long shot. What did it do, Dub? Hey, what do you think about left translated cycle? Meaning we top earlier than in the past, possibly end of year, followed by 2-year bear market. I know exactly what video you're talking about. If you guys don't follow Bob Lucas, I make sure to follow Bob Lucas. You don't not just need to listen to me. You need to listen to a healthy amount of crypto investors. And then when they start lining up to each other, it makes a lot of sense. Now, know that I listen to Bob Lucas, so I understand, like, I hear what he says, but it's because I like how Bob thinks, right? You need to get, there's a gardener outside, damn it. But you need to like find a group of people on YouTube and like say, I like how that's a good point. I like how they think. That's a good point. I like how they think. You know, like, and just get a group of like informal advisors. And then you could pick their brains. And they won't always be right and they won't always agree. But if you have vetted your group of unofficial advisors, you can become smarter from just understanding how they think, and you could probably see things in a more unbiased way. But back to Bob Lucas's most recent video, guys, make sure to go check it out. It talks about the possibility of a left translated cycle. And hey, I'm not against it. I think it might actually happen. The reason being is Bob puts it in a very eloquent way of what I've been saying this entire time. Because every single time I look at people trying to overlay previous cycles fractals onto this cycle, they're always using two, right? Which ones? 2020 to 2021 and 2017 to 2018. They don't go any farther back. But there were cycles before then. I mean, maybe they don't know. Maybe they just got into crypto late. But there's a 2013 cycle. And we can look at that today. 2013 was a much more parabolic than 2017 and 2020. It was very fast. So we've seen these kind of things happen before. And I'm going to show you why the structure kind of resembles what's happening right now, just over a much larger period of time. And when you think about what's happening to crypto and how crypto's sucking in all the money from the traditional system into the digital system, cycles move much faster. Parabolic moves move much faster when the market cap is small. But now market cap is much bigger, right? So if you have a much bigger market cap, think of it like a body of water, right? You could take a bucket of water and throw it across the room. But if you have a pool of water, then you have to have some special machinery. It takes time to put it in place. It takes much force to lift it up and move it the same distance. And that's exactly why they call money like liquidity. It's liquid. It has a lot of the same properties of liquid, right? So we're seeing a similar setup over a much longer time. And I guess I could go ahead and look at that. Give me 1 second to pull it up. I don't have to pull it up right now. Hopefully it makes sense. I might see it sound like I'm talking out my rear end, but it's something I've always thought about. And I never understood why no one looked at 2013. It's probably because they weren't around, and that's something that maybe I take for granted being in crypto for so long. Bitcoin. Bitstamp? See if Bitstamp has it. Some of them don't go the back that far. It depends on when it was listed on exchanges. Okay. I'll go the month. That's better. And this is why, guys, I talk about looking zoomed out over the macro trend. Because, yeah, there's cycles within cycles. There's cycles of cycles. There's large term cycles over decades. Now, we don't know those cycles for crypto just yet because it's only been around for a little over a decade, not multiple decades. But there are cycles all over the place, right? And a lot of people just look at cycles within like here or like in portions of the cycle or just an entire cycle, okay? Well, maybe it's too big because it doesn't look that similar. See this right here? It breaks out, pops up, and kind of falls down in a cursive D. It gives some time to round off. It starts accumulating, goes sideways, and then pops up all the way to the top. I forgot the tool where I could overlay it. I'm not going to do that right now. You guys know the tool. I haven't done this in a while. Whatever. But I just want you to see that. And if you overlay it, this looks like something similar. Pops out, goes sideways for a while, falls down in a large cursive D. You take much longer to reach up to the all-time high. At that point, there will probably be some sideways movement and then bang, take off. So something that's happened before. Now, a lot of people think that, oh, this is a separate cycle. It's totally different. I think it's just a continuation, right? I think the cycles are, in fact, lengthening, right, to play out. Because if you look at this right here, it looks different. It's much more aggressive going upwards, but then shoots up, comes down, consolidates, shoots up again. I think we're on the second leg of rising up in this cycle. It's just taken much longer because this took what? How long to take place? And I'll get to why this kind of equates to left trend latest cycle in a second. 231 days. This so far has taken how long to take place? We'll go to the top, first top. 1,092 days. But why would that happen? We talked about it taking longer to move more money, right? It's taking much longer to move the same amount of money and get the same amount of percentage gain. But that's still taking place. You know what I mean? So with that said, This increase is much more extreme. In fact, this only took 50 days to play out. So if we have the same structure building up, maybe that uptick is going to be much more parabolic than what we've seen in 2021 and definitely 2017. And that's why I think that the left triangulated cycle has some legs to stand on. Because think of it, guys, it's the one thing that no one's expecting. And when does look, just think about it from terms of Bitcoin and what it's done in the past, right? Like, when has Bitcoin ever done something that everyone expects? It does something every time. And the Bitcoin's the best at faking the most amount of people out and catching them on the wrong side of the trade. So maybe one day Bitcoin just starts taking off in 2024 and doesn't look back. I mean, wouldn't that be in Bitcoin's MO? Yeah, I think it would. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that it's exactly going to happen, but I'm making a case as to why I'm open to the possibility of it. And it's something that I've kind of been saying just in a less eloquent way than Bob has. Raul Paul and Mark Yusko are my guys. Cool. Yeah, Raul Paul's good. I mean, I like his real vision for not just crypto. I like it for like other things too. I think Raul, I don't think his specialty is crypto, to be honest, because Raul gotten kind of late to crypto. But from a macro investing standpoint, he helps you put these different things together. Like he's like really good on interest rates and all the other parts of the economy that you need to know about, right? So like, Bitcoin's gonna go up on this day. It's like interest rates are at all-time highs right now. It's probably not gonna happen, right? And that's the one thing that I think crypto bros really need to get better at. Understanding traditional finance too. Yeah, I get it. Bitcoin's here to revolutionize everything, yada yada, but we're still working with TradFi too. So to not understand TradFi is probably a disservice to yourself. Yep. And I guess, if that happened, then 2-year bear market just means that, it's going to take longer to come down, because the more exponential something moves, the more time it takes for the market to forget what happened, because a lot of people are going to probably get burned on it, right? So like it's going to take much longer for people to get okay with the fact that they got effed. That's why it takes so long. That's why bear markets happens. That's why accumulation happens, because people are pretty butthurt about what happens with their bags. Bullet sentiment as Elizabeth Warren gives certification in honor of Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. What does that mean? What happened? What is Elizabeth doing now? She's a menace, man. Check this out. We didn't get too far down. Uniswap, Aptos, Acceler, Ronin. Yeah, man. Filecoin. Filecoin's moving. XRP is up. XRP is up. Uh-oh. That's how you know maybe a broader altcoin season is coming back. Beam. Beam is killing it. It's been up here for a while. Helium. These are a lot of coins I saw last cycle. Immutable X, that came out last cycle. Pith, that's new Oracle. Bonk. Bonk is like doing big things. It might be the one to bring a mass amount of people, but then don't forget about Doge. I think this is a real canary in the coal mine for crypto, man. Doge typically takes off in the beginning, and that's why it's good to have coins like XRP and Doge in your portfolio, because you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time, and it gives you time to reinvest and still potentially come out with even more profit on the back end. Like these coins that take a while to play out, it's kind of risky. Once they get to their all-time high, you pull. There's not a lot of time in the altcoin season left. But these coins that are, I guess I'll call them oscillators, they pop up real quick. And I think Doge, once it hits around 13 cents, it's going to start making bigger moves. So, hey, Doge is still, 2 cents off of its bear market bottom. That's an opportunity right there. If you're still looking to deploy capital, I don't think you can get into a much safer meme coin than Doge. Doge is not a rug pull. If you're still looking to deploy capital, I'm a fan of Doge, man. I wasn't always. I sold my Doge way too early last cycle, way too early. Kick myself every day, and I'm never going to sell my Doge too early again. Doge shows up, and it shows up for multiple cycles. 1 year bear market is bad enough. Imagine 2, LOL. I lose all my hair. F that. No, you wouldn't if you sell. You will not if you sell. You know? If you went to the bear market, hey, me too. Happens. But you know what? You gotta do this, start doing things differently. We gotta start getting smarter, you know? Because if you don't get smarter, then who can we blame but ourselves? You have a calm, smooth voice. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Tell me about it. Level under 1 cent with Doge, LOL. Lev under 1 cent with Doge, LOL. For what? You had leverage under 1 cent with Doge? Damn. See, Doge moves so much though. You need leverage. I don't know. See, like I don't want you guys to get too greedy with what do you call it? With gains this cycle either. I mean, if we're really approaching a full-blown alt season, leverage is just a risk in my opinion. I mean, damn man, like Doge can go pretty high. I think it's gonna break $1 this cycle. You know, how much is too much, and how much risk are you willing to take? At the end of the day, when a full blown alt season, to me, leverage is just kind of risk. But maybe you're just better at trading like that than me. I don't know. We all have gifts, right? Yup. Hey. Guys are on X, follow me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, follow me on X. I'm simul streaming. Let's go back and look at the losers. It's always good to look at the losers. It makes me feel better. Selfishly. Celestia. Well, that was hot for Osmosis. What? What is Osmosis doing? Is Cosmos waking up? Somewhat. Damn, this thing tanked. But this was the biggest DEX on Cosmos last cycle, guys. So I guess it's interesting to see Osmosis waking up. Astar, Monero. Damn, Monero. It got wrecked after the Binance delist. And Ethereum Classic. This is another one I've been looking at, guys. If you know anything about me, I like Ethereum Classic. Okay? I like things people hate. That's just who I am by nature. That's why I got on Bitcoin. It was before it was sexy. Ethereum Classic looks like it's winding up, man. If you look at this fractal, I think what's happening is a bigger version because there's more money in the asset of what happened right here before Ethereum Classic did this. I bought my Ethereum Classic down here, right in the prime of the 51% attack FUD. You know, everyone hated Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic is not dead. It's here to stay. It's here to stay, and I think it's about to do something pretty special this coming bull run. Not financial advice. That's just a little alpha for you. I'm a believer in Ethereum Classic. Remember how magic it was when Doge broke 2 cents, then back down under 1 cent, LOL. Yeah, it's because Doge was a joke. See, everyone comes up into crypto now and they think crypto's all serious. Crypto was such a joke. Doge was made as a joke. It was a dog coin. Everyone was like, what the heck? And then it just started like outperforming. And then it became like this. Elon started talking about it in Robinhood. And then everyone's like, what is going on? But I tell you what, the makers of Doge never thought Doge would be this. But that just goes to show you that the valuations in crypto are so much different than traditional equities and companies, right? Crypto is about how many people have it. Doge was like the OG meme coin. So a lot of people had it because everyone likes to laugh and everyone likes jokes. Doge has over 4 million wallets worldwide. It's probably damn near 5 million now. I haven't checked, right? So the more people have and participate in this ecosystem, the more people know about it, especially meme coins, the more viral the memes get, they spread like wildfire. The brand recognition goes crazy. So now we're starting to see that it almost doesn't matter like how serious your project is. It's how many people have it and know it. You know, And who knows? Maybe Doge will become something important in the future. I remember I went to the first Litecoin summit, and there's this dude there with a hat, and it said Dogecoin millionaire back in 2018. And that was before the 2020, 2021 run of Doge. That dude is filthy now. Filthy with it now. I'm already putting aside dry powder for 2026 bear market. That's kind of for real. No, not yet. Not yet. We haven't done the thing yet. We gotta go up first. Most hated is EOS and Luna 2.0. LOL. Yeah, I would say EOS is still pretty hated. Okay, here's the most hated projects in my opinion, right? And to me, that's like opportunity because everyone's hating it irrationally just because they're sheep. Okay, Bitcoin Cash because of the whole Bitcoin thing, Ethereum Classic because of the whole Ethereum thing, EOS because the whole like foundation thing, Terra Luna because the whole rugging thing or the hacking thing, and then XRP. But I think XRP now, because it's won that's court case against SEC, a lot of people have changed their tune against XRP because it's like safe to do so, but those are like the 5 that everyone sleeps on. And maybe Bitcoin, Satoshi's vision. Everyone hates that because they don't like Craig Wright claiming he's Satoshi. But he doesn't really need to be Satoshi if he wins a court case. And that's not going to be popular opinion either. But look, who cares if you could divorce yourself from your feelings? Those are asymmetric risks right there. Those are opportunities for asymmetric risk. You put a little in, and if most people are wrong, you make a lot. That's how I think about things. Investing is just the probabilities game. I don't really care. I don't got feelings about things anymore. I used to have feelings about things, and guess what? My feelings were wrong. My feelings were wrong. You can't trust your feelings. I trust results. Watch your live comment on X about Elizabeth Warren. No, I did. What does it mean? I don't explain, Richie. I need to know. Script mining on a merge mining LTC. Wish I kept that. LOL dumping. Damn. Yeah, I know homie that mined LTC. LTC, man. That's another one. If Litecoin starts going up, the bull runs back because Litecoin only goes up during bull runs. But when Litecoin goes up, it goes up a bunch. I remember seeing Litecoin go from $3 to like $100 to $400. It was wild. Litecoin never goes up until it does, and then it goes up a lot. Let's pull it up. Yeah, $3 to like $400, and then at the top, Charlie Lee came out, and he was like, "Yo, there's gonna be a bear market. Sell now." And he sold his stuff and it tanked. It just barely got above it last time, but I think Litecoin at this point it's shaping up to do something special too, right? Like I said, I'm looking at all these previous structures and trying to identify fractals. And what reminds me the most of what's happened over here is right here. See that? Yeah, it's much bigger. But that's what I think's approaching because the move is going to be much bigger. Think about it. I like Dino Coins. I like these old projects. I don't give up on them because everyone's forgot about them, but not the institutions. The institutions are going to get into them. Think about what assets merchants accept. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, so on and so forth. There's a few of them, right? So that's going to be like demand just to buy goods and services. Then you have Grayscale. Go check out Grayscale's website about the trust they have. Grayscale already showed their hand about converting their trust into spot ETFs. They got the first one turned down, but that just means the SEC isn't ready to just have a raging altcoin season happen. It's going to come. Ethereum's going to come, and then a bunch more are going to come. So go ahead and look at Grayscale's trusts to see which ones might have ETFs come out of the line. Litecoin has one. Ethereum Classic has one. Bitcoin Cash has one. Ethereum has one. Brave has one. Yeah. I mean, there's a thought process to this, guys. I mean, look, you don't think there's just going to be one or two ETFs? I mean, that's what the maxis and Bitcoin and Ethereum going to tell you, but they're just maxis. They don't think clearly. There's going to be a bunch of like ETFs come through the line. Why? Because these are products. Why would you just open one product? And if it's a raging success, make more products. Products make money. You're talking about financial institutions. They love money. You got to think in terms of how bankers think, man. Not how a crypto purist thinks. How does the banker think? That's who's in control of these ETF products. A hell of a show. You are dropping bombs. I'm trying to, man. I'm thinking. This left translation might be a thing. I want you guys to be prepared. But I also want you to have the right mindset. Don't want to see anyone get hurt. Ultimately, there definitely will be people hurt. But hopefully the 16 people here won't get hurt, right? And you can always come back here and we can keep each other accountable. If you start tripping too much when all these noobs are up in here and they start saying Bitcoin's going up forever. Guess what? Bitcoin's never gone up forever. I'd love to see it, but it's not going to happen. Because if Bitcoin went up forever, that means all the governments in the world will get destabilized, and they're not going to let that happen yet. They're going to fight tooth and nail and drag it out as long as they can. I don't think people really understand what it means when they say that Bitcoin's going to replace the dollar completely. I don't think they understand what that means. Like, put your mind like your government hat on. That means you lose your ability to like manipulate the currency supply, which means you lose your ability to wage forever wars and intimidate countries around the world. That's a huge, huge benefit for having the world reserve currency. So why would you give it up? They know this, guys. I know crypto likes to think government's stupid. I used to work directly with the government, and they're not stupid. There's a lot of smart doctorates in the government. Grayscale and ditch the trust. They have done it in the past. Check the facts. Ditch the trust? What do you mean by that? Go Doge Chain. Yeah, and if you guys talked about before, check my last episode. I just went through some of the coins I was looking to build my meme coin portfolio with. Go check it out. It's pretty interesting. One of them is Doge Chain. If you don't know, Doge Chain gives EVM compatibility to Doge, right? So once that's the thing that's happened, right? Doge coin goes up, people have a lot of money, but these people, they keep their money in it, right? And they have nothing to do with it. So this is attempting to give people with Doge to exercise the value to get yield, to borrow, all that stuff. I think that's going to be very appealing to people who are sitting on fat Doge bags eventually. Grayscale. Oh, yeah, I talked about that. My bad. Hello from Sydney, Dub. Agree on multiple ETFs over the next year. It's happening, man. You know, like, once the first ETF got approved, the cat's out of the bag. That was like breaking the seal. You guys know about breaking the seal? We start drinking. But the second you pee, you got to do it a lot more. That I'm essentially applying that on crypto. It's a universal fact of life. It's how physics work, you know? So we're going to see it happen. And now they're going to gauge the demand. This is how institutions think. I used to work at a Fortune 500 company. This is how the finance department thinks. They throw a product out there, and then they wait a quarter or two. They gauge the demand. They see how profitable it is. If it's a raging success, they throw more out there. They wait. They gauge demand. If it's success, they throw more out there. They do it in phased, tranched approaches. They're calculated. So right now they're in their evaluating stage. Give it some time. Around March or April, we'll probably see another one because Bitcoin is the best performing asset so far. My goodness. It's killing the stock market. It's killing real estate. People are going to go into Bitcoin from a financial preservation standpoint. And that's the beautiful part about crypto. I looked at it and I said, this thing is eating up all the money in the financial system. It's eating up all the inflation. It's going up the highest. It's beating all the commodities, all the equities, all the everything. So it's not, at a certain point, people aren't going to have to be convinced to get into Bitcoin. They're going to be pleading to get into Bitcoin. Checkmate. We got him. Growth on Wall Street. I don't know about growth. Okay, I don't know about growth. I don't know about all these meme coins, but I do think, bigger cap altcoins, because they're going to want, okay, so say Grayscale, BlackRock, right? They're the biggest asset manager in the world. They're not going to open an ETF product for something that could potentially be a security. And that's why I'm looking at the Litecoins and the Bitcoin Cashes and everything that's been fairly distributed and clearly not securities. That's what they're going to open ETFs for, because Grayscale's not going to dedicate millions, maybe even billions of dollars towards a product that's just going to go bust overnight. They're going to be slow, and they're going to want the truly decentralized products. And a lot of the older coins are truly decentralized. I mean, that's one of the things with these coins. A lot of these other coins, I don't think they're going to be available to have ETFs open up to them. Hearts and peace. Here's looking at you, kid. 17 people. Wow. We could also gauge how well crypto is doing based on how many people are on my streams. At one point, we were at 100 people. Those were the heydays. But yeah. We looked at Bitcoin dominance already, right? Let's check out total crypto market cap. It's frozen. 1 second. Yeah, reload, dog. Okay, like I said, we're doing pretty good. The crypto market cap over the past 119 days has risen approximately almost 90%. That's great. Don't get me wrong. But at some point, we're going to start giving some back. That's just how it goes. It's up, down. In the beginning, up, grind down. Up, bigger up, grinds down. But you always have some grind down. The second we start breaking out of here into new blue sky breakout, that's when we have the extended ups, because there's no resistance points in the past, right? That's why it's called blue sky breakout. It's very speculative. It's very euphoric. It could be extended moves up. But while we're working our way up here, people are buying and selling because there's technical resistances that traders can look at. They're all looking at the same thing, so it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is the whole thought process behind trading, right? So when we get here, we're definitely going to have a sell-off. When we get up here, we're definitely going to have a sell-off. We're definitely going to have a big sell-off here. But the second we break above here, that's when we can say, hey, we made it. This thing can go for a very long time. But while we're below there, expect to give some back. I pulled some profits yesterday, just a little bit, not too much. On the off chance we get a 20-30% correction, that's to be expected. It doesn't nullify what's going on here. It's the natural progression of a cycle. And look at the RSI, very extended, above overbought, right? Not to say that it can't stay in overbought. However, don't think we're there just yet, because how early in the year it is. The halving hasn't even happened. I think we're going to have to do some more stair stepping up. But I think towards April, we're going to have a much clearer picture of what's happening here. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. You know what I mean? So expect some kind of corrections. I think it'll be irresponsible not to say that. Now, there's a possibility you could just go ham right away, but that's not the most likely thing. But later on to the year in 2024, I think 2024 has a good chance of being an all-time highs, especially because I showed you the 2013 fractal and how exponential that rise up was. It's much more exponential than what we experienced in 2017. And I think that's what everyone's expecting. They're just going to the past couple cycles and saying it's going to be like this. But what about the one where it wasn't like that? Like, stop ignoring that one. Check out Jasmine Coin, ex-Sony executive main project data locker. The Japanese Bitcoin, only regulated coin in Japan. Is that what it is? I remember that popped up in on Coinbase like a while ago, and I was like, what the hell is this? Jasmine Coin. What's up with the name? How's it doing? It's on Coinbase already. Looks like a bag of milk. This came out 2021 and dropped down to death. 50 million market cap, or no, volume. 309 million market cap and 49 billion supply. It's Ethereum. What's up with his Twitter? Just want to see. 104K followers. Okay. Cool. This could be interesting. I think this is another asymmetric risk play. Obviously, if this thing lifts up and gets above 22 cents, there's nothing really stopping it around $1 or $2, you know? So this is a situation where 6 cents right now in a full-blown altcoin season, maybe you can make a lot from it, just a little bit. And I suggest if you do stuff like that, just put a little bit, right? Because then it could become a lot. But if you put a lot down and it doesn't do its thing, you can't blame anyone, right? This is a crypto. Y'all are adults, right? Like, ain't no crying in crypto. We get all the glory and we deserve all the grief of losing bags. So check that out if you guys are interested. People, big bug on Binance with exchange rate, auto exchange to 10x price on Bitcoin ETH pairs. I posted a video. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Now has its own chain. Oh, cool. I don't own any Bitcoin because it's very expensive. It will enter the market in 2022, but I'm excited to know where Bitcoin is going. Well, Richie, it doesn't matter if you don't have Bitcoin because everything follows Bitcoin, right? We look at Bitcoin dominance to gauge how altcoins are going to do. Bitcoin is when people say Bitcoin, it's just kind of like another way of saying the overall crypto market, because altcoins don't do well if Bitcoin's not doing well, right? That has to happen first. And that's why a lot of people say that's a strategy to go in during bear markets and they only buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin rises up first anyway, right? So like if Bitcoin rises up and you've been accumulating Bitcoin, then you have the opportunity to drop Bitcoin into altcoins after it does its initial pump up and alts roughly start to follow, right? But like that's just how the crypto market has moved so far, unless something catastrophic happens to Bitcoin. I think that's the way it's going to continue to be. I bought 3 million. Dang. Hey, come here. Send me some. I'm just kidding. Unless you want to. Yup. But I think it's going to be interesting. Interesting time coming for crypto in the near future. And I think it's going to catch people off guard. I really do. I think people have been sleeping. And I think people have gotten very complacent of how they think crypto really moves. I don't think anyone knows how crypto moves. And I think the second people get very comfortable with how they expect it to move is the second Bitcoin does something unexpected. We can't really trust this asset class because it's a brand new freaking asset class. If we had a 50, 100 years of data of how these things typically go, maybe it'd be different. But I don't know how people are so confident in knowing exactly how it moves with a little over 10 years. That's nothing. It's literally nothing. And we're approaching a point in like the economy where money might start getting cheaper and money might start getting printed again. We have an election coming up. Typically, the sitting presidents don't like to go in with the economy on the floor, and that's where it is now. So at some point, I'm expecting things to turn up in a better way because it's just that timing. And if you remember in 2017, right after Trump was elected in, crypto went ham. Stock market went ham. Don't you think it's funny? It's not a coincidence. These are all central planned markets. You got the Fed. That's what the Fed does. It turns up or turns down interest rates. That affects the economy and how the inflation and how things move. It's less a coincidence than you like to think. There's not that many coincidences in life, if any. But guys, it's about it. It's been an hour. I come on here Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time-ish. Always fun to have you guys. Make sure to catch the replay. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm streaming. And I'm gonna try to keep you guys updated so we get through this cycle together, more profitable and better off than when we entered. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later. Peace.